Welcome everyone back again to another season, a brand new season of the Teacher Surgery. Let's go, let's get. All right. So in this episode today, we've been blessed enough to get Tricky to be here as one of our members. Let's go, Tricky. How you doing?
Yeah, let's go.
Today's episode, we're talking about dealing with a narcissistic teacher. All right. So just before we get stuck into it, right? A narcissist, right? This is just a definition I got from Google. Is narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. Okay. So now,
That's a big one.
how does a student deal with a narcissistic teacher?
I'm going to say to you, unfortunately for that student or for that pupil, that problem will probably rear itself throughout their lifetimes, several occasions. Narcissism is a debilitating trait that people have. It doesn't last for the whole of their lives, but it is something that if you have it in a position of power, it can be really hurtful to those who are going to suffer from it. Okay, so what are strategic things that a young person can do if they come across an adult who's behaving in a narcissistic way? First and foremost, they need to recognize it's about that other person and not them. What they have done will have literally no consequence on this person because this person lacks empathy.
But Hakeem,
them. Yes, sir.
I love that on paper.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're young, it's so hard as someone that's in power to think.
100.
It's not like, how can you get a child to say, it's not me, it's
100.
them? Because the child's gonna take everything like, I'm the reason why you're like this.
You're right. But that's where the other trusted adult comes in.
Okay.
Yeah, so it should be when this young person, whether it's mentor, brother, uncle, mum, dad, when they're having that conversation, they should be reassured and say, no, it's not about you. This is about them. But they're exhibiting these traits and it's about them. Now, how do you cope? You can't let their failings come up on you because they are going to be, to all intents and purposes, mean to you, horrible to you, say unsupportive things to you, but you can't let that come into your psyche and be what you think is the truth about yourself because there are other trusted adults telling you completely the opposite of that. What the focus has to be on that other person's failings. And if it's a member of staff and the things that are doing to them are debilitating academically, then we have to report it because it becomes... Sorry, go on.
Can I jump in and say, personally, I mean, I agree with what you're saying in terms of the whole, it's not you, it's them. But I really think we need to call it out. I'm sick and tired of this whole idea of, oh, they're a teacher, they're there to care for you and support you. We have acknowledged, being on the show, that actually these teachers are human beings. So they, not all of them are innocent. And a lot of parents have this thing of, oh, you're going to school, so you're going to be safe, you're going to be looked after, you're going to be nurtured. Not necessarily. So I think when a child is saying that they feel uncomfortable, you need to call it out. You need to book an appointment with that teacher. You need to speak to the head of year. You need to have a conversation about it. And it needs to be addressed. It can't be swept under the carpet. It can't be a case of, I'll do better. What are the steps that you're going to do better? There needs to be a strategic plan, an action plan. And that child needs to feel safe, you know? Because otherwise we're failing them based on the whole fact that, oh, it's a him problem and it's not a you problem. That child needs to get his educations at the end of the day. It needs to pass his GCSEs. How is the child going to survive in school if they don't want to go to school because of the narcissistic behavior that they're seeing at school?
100%.
You know?
Let me ask,
Sorry.
I've got a question. I want you to come in. Specifically for you, right? So you've come in with your son today. Now, he's 15, he's secondary school. How do you, as a parent of a secondary school child, how would you respond to him coming and saying, look, Dad, like, this teacher, he might not use the word narcissistic, but you say that this teacher is really disagreeable with me. Always getting on to me. Nothing I say is right. He makes me feel small all the time. Would you think, is he just trying to get one off? Or how would you respond to that?
No, I actually listen to my son a lot because when it was my day, my mum always thought, my mum and our parents put so much trust in teachers. As you say, they drop you off to school in a day and they put the most trust in the world. Like, remember, a teacher is close to, and I mean in the rankings, of an auntie, of an uncle. They have that much trust and they have that much control over you. And you kind of feel as a child that this is the authoritative adult. Do you get what I'm saying? So any child going about me with me and my son, I listen to him. And I don't think we do that. My mum used to shut me down. No. If I get a letter home, the letter come home, mum, just listen. But we was in the no.
If they said that, that's what happened.
Do you get what I'm saying? If they said that, so we've changed it now where we listen to our children a bit more, because I've seen it with my own eyes when I've gone into the school and I thought, do you know what you lot need to do? You need to behave a bit more human. Stop behaving like police officers, because you're not the police. Do you get what I'm saying? You're here to look after our children and help them. Do you get what I'm saying? But I even told that lady that it's kind of because we need a go-between. And let me say this quickly now. We need, as I said, a woman passed away. And this is how I'm going to connect the stories. A woman passed away. And I think the streets need it. You see, for those kids that don't want to be there, if they saw a big guy like yourself, like, do you get what I'm saying? And he was the main guy. And I could go to him and say, I don't want to sell drugs. Please don't make no one make me. All right, cool. We need a guy like that, a go-between. So he goes to the other guys and says, you know, you see this little one? He doesn't want to do it. So don't worry. The ones that do want to do it, I always say, go and do it. But there's loads that don't. So just like the kids, they need a go-between in the school. Sir, where it's not straight to the teacher. Because then the teacher, as you said, they're only human. So the next day he goes into the school after bringing his parents in, he gets that.
You're right.
He gets the little cold shoulder. He gets the little awkward reaction where I'm not going to really deal with you like I've dealt with the others. Because certain times he said, Dad, is this teacher not like me or something? And I'm saying, like even for you to feel that, like he's like, Dad, I'm just not gonna say, because he's a good kid, so he'll just say, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. And
you know,
and that's kind of squashing you. But go on, sorry.
No, sorry. You saying that is true. It's down to teachers as well. I feel like we have a responsibility and a duty of care to actually make it so that the children feel comfortable to 100%. Come to us. It's really down to us saying, you know, if I'm doing something wrong, say it to me. 100%. I respect and I value your input. And you know what? I'm saying it hand on heart. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I've said something and it's upset my students. And they've come to me and they said, you know, you've upset me. And I say, I'm so sorry. I did not mean it that way. And you know.
Amber, let me ask based on what you're both saying then. I call it, what about the coach? I call it the Coach Carter syndrome, right? What about, so genuinely a kid, you've got a teacher who's being hard on them, not because they dislike them, but because they want them to just do better. Maybe they've seen behavioral traits, so they set a higher expectation from them, or maybe they're just getting onto them because they've seen that their behavior is going wayward.
Need to explain
you feel that. But
then some students, but that's why I call it, because in school, there's going to be times when a teacher that's hard on you because he loves you or genuinely wants better for you, you're gonna now take it as what's
my vice, my is it vice principal? He was my favourite. Everyone hated him and was like this, that, and the other. And he was so harsh on me. But as I said, it's a feeling. So even when he was harsh on me, I never once went home and said this, that, and the other. But there was other ones that would just dig me out for certain things. And you can as a child, we grow even now as adults and we feel energy. So you can feel energy in the room, certain places. It goes from that child. He can feel, they're not stupid. He's 15 years old. He can tell when someone doesn't like him. He can tell when someone's trying to... He's got a coach that does his football. And he used to have a coach who, just do what you like. He loved the one that was like, get up, run, do this. And I was thinking, damn, ain't he a bit harsh to you, son? No, he cares about me, though. I lie?
I love that.
Am I lying? Because he's got a football coach that really just tells him what it is. And he does it in front of me. And I'm like, oh, gosh, that's a bit harsh. But my son loves it. But he can tell, and he speaks to him differently and says, I know you care about me, man.
I'm gonna let one of you get the last word.
I'm listening to you and I'm hearing it and I'm saying, do you know what? It's like I'm looking in the mirror and I'm saying what I'm saying to my parents. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it's about high expectations and holding to account. I have high expectations for you because I believe in you and love you and I want you to be the best you can be. I'm going to hold you to account because I need you to understand that what we do has consequences. The choices we make have ramifications. And if I don't hold you to account for what you do, society will. Especially as a person of color. So we can't let you just think, oh, I'm going to act really willingly. High expectations and hold into account. Absolutely, I agree.
I'm going to wrap up there for this part of the show. We're going to go to one of my favorite parts of the show now. You know, as we know, you guys give us a lot of questions today. We've had... we actually decided to do something. Amber, can you explain where these questions came from? You said that it was the student rants, yeah? Yes. So what... go ahead, explain what that is, actually.
Oh, no. So, you know, the students that we've reached out to have actually come in contact with us and given us a message about how we can help them deal with certain situations that they face at school.
So these are actually, we're going to be incorporating some of what the students are saying in some of the questions. So we're going to get an array of different kind of questions, right? So just be prepared. So today's one, I'm already laughing, right? So today's one is, I love my teacher to bits, but his breath stinks. What should I do?
Say that again?
I love my teacher to bits, but his breath stinks.
Oh my God.
What should I do? All right?
No way.
So as teachers, what do you do?
And you know what I tell you, yeah?
What do you do as
the teacher that smells
into the narcissistic thing?
The teacher that smells so beautiful, it's like she stays away from you and talks to you over there. And you're just thinking, miss, come closer. And the teacher, like, it was my geography teacher, Mr. Jones. If you're alive,
I'm not saying his name, you know.
God bless you, Mr. Jones, because he was a good guy. But he used to always drink coffee and shout. And my name's Tristan. So he used to say, Tristram! And it's like, mate.
Them extra syllables and that.
No extra. And it was like, nah, man, you know you just drank coffee. Because they used to have, back in our day, they always have the coffee on the table. 100%. In the classroom. 100%. I don't see it that much when I go into the schools now, but the teachers before, they'll drink the coffee and then bam, right at you.
But you know what the worst one? I had a teacher, shout out to him, R.I.P. Brother Ronald. We all love him, right?
Yeah.
But he had a coffee that was staying in that mug from 9 a.m. to 3, still drinking that same all cold, nasty.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So you already know how it was kicking in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So no, but honestly, with all intents and purposes, right? How or can you, as a student, say to your teacher that you have got a problem with how you smell?
I'm not gonna.
Is that gonna any situation where that?
I have been told that, sir, man, that coffee breath is ding. I've been told. Say
that again.
You know, so we were doing the work. I work in a SCMH school, you know. I work with my young people. So our young people have social emotional. Sometimes the way that they'll communicate with you might not be the most tactful. But they're being honest. I leaned over. I'm helping with the maths. I'm going, you know, you've done really well there.
But you know why you was probably comfortable with that?
No,
because you know that in real life I don't smell.
No, it's not. And the thing is, listen, I talk with my boys about growing up. We're real, and if they're a bit frazzled, I will let them know. So we have that dialogue. Okay, sorry, just a little caveat. I always say to them, hold me to account. You see me coming in not looking spick and span, tell me, because I will do the same to you.
Okay.
So you're doing really well. Nah, sir, you're best kicking today.
But I'm going to tell you, where did you say you work?
I work in the schools, a special school.
Oh, they're the SEN?
Yes.
All right, but imagine going to our public schools and telling the teacher this is someone who's got an understanding for the kids. That they can say it to you, but saying it to a teacher who's just drove all the way from Colchester,
and that's where
he doesn't know these little kids from Peckham, from Hackney, from Tottenham, from Wood Green, wherever these kids have come from, black, white, and Asian. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not used to these type of children. Do you get what I'm saying?
Is it a rapport thing then?
Not only is it a rapport thing. I think it's about you need to know yourself. Working in special education is no joke.
Don't take it personal.
It's no joke. No, you can't take it. So if you ain't built for that, then there's no shame in saying, I'm mainstream. I want to work with kids that I know what they're doing and they can get through. There's no shame in that.
And I come from a mainstream school, 100%. And I find it difficult where, you know, you're not allowed to chew gum in school. But if my breath is not a breath, I'll say, can you give me some gum? And they will actually give me chewing gum and I'll sweat.
I do think it's to do with rapport, but I don't think it's specifically in SMH schools. I think that can happen all over in all schools. But if you're going to work in SMH, know that.
And in a sentence, I don't know if it's the way I was brought up, but I'm going to advise no kids to tell your teacher that they stink.
Yeah.
No, but genuinely, because I remember, I'm not gonna lie, the way I've grown up, I remember saying it to an adult, and you get beat for that.
Yeah.
Like, and don't worry, guys, when I talk about beats, I'm talking about 30 years ago. Like, we don't beat no one now. No one gets beats. Do you get what I'm saying? But I remember, I think I said it to an uncle. Oh, uncle, come on, man. What?
Oh, no.
Don't point out
the thing. That's different.
No, but even with a teacher's a stranger. So even with a teacher, and I did say they're kind of like the approach. Remember, it's your teacher, but it's still an adult. So you telling an adult, you know what, you don't really smell too nice. And even with him, kids don't know how to say it nice. I know how to say, someone can say it nice to me. I know how to say it nice to you and you. Yeah, bro, like, come on, just go and have a shower, man.
But
do you know what I mean? You can't say that to your teacher.
At your point, we should say that all teachers just make sure it's on point, because it can be a distraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember I was in a low set in maths, and I wasn't doing really well. And I remember the day I was like, you know what, I'm getting out of this set. And I said, sir, can you help me? And he came over and he sat down, he got really close to me, and he was like, right, so what is it? And then I just went,
it's crazy.
And all I was waiting for was for him to finish talking so that he could move away from me. So that I could
it's crazy,
get
honestly.
on with it, and I never took anything in.
Yeah. And in real terms, it kind of torturous, because in real life, you know, you as a student, we're talking about narcissistic teachers earlier. You as a student, you're there. You have to interact with this person Monday to Friday, and they're sitting over you, you know, and you're literally in a very uncomfortable situation. You know
Can I say something to you also, just to back it up? In our school, that is in the code of conduct. You can't wear strong perfumes that may trigger the children. You can't even wear too many stripy, varying colours that might trigger the children. So all of that is into our built-in ways of working. Now, maybe that should be for all schools.
Can they go to a different?
Because you see, back in my day, I felt a lot of my teachers used to wear the same clothes every day. Even if it was like my geography teacher in a blue suit. It used to be the same suit every day. Certain teachers, and you'd be like, oh gosh, but as a child, you're not noticing his swag. You're just thinking it's his uniform. Do you get what I'm saying? But he's being a bit dirty and wearing the same clothes every day. You don't really see it in this day and age. I think it was more back in the day. Like, the teachers are getting better. Like,
I think you should go to another teacher and tell them. Or we had this thing where, when I was in school, we had this anonymous I know what you mean. The anonymous box, whatever they called it. Right? So it's where you can you know, report about things that you don't want to.
Can you imagine?
So you have the anonymous letter box thing where people can.
Oh my God!
Or you go to another teacher and say, look.
Imagine I pick up a post-it note and it says, "Miss Undergar, I've been meaning to tell you your breast stinks."
But which way would you rather hear it? Because then it's like, Sir Hacks, I'm not gonna lie, you know.
I like you as a teacher, but your breath smells.
He's killing it. He's killing me, man. You need to tackle.
But I'd rather know.
That's nice.
I don't think it's fair to the kid.
I don't mind.
And there's me trying to help a kid and I'm torturing them. No, I'd rather know. I think the onus is on the teacher to make sure you ain't doing that.
All right. All right. Well, that wraps that up anyway. So students, I hope you got what you got from that anyway. Yeah.
Use Colgate.
And teachers. Well, yeah, that wraps up another episode of the Teacher Surgery. Let's go. Woo! All right. I just want to thank Chicky again for coming.
No, come on, man. God bless. God bless. Come on, man. God bless. God bless every time.
All right. Until next time, we'll catch you next time. All right. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from everyone else.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.